One of the more heartwarming stories of UFC 314 was Dominick Reyes getting a first round knockout vintage Dominic Reyes performance victory over the weekend. It was beautiful over Nikita Krylov, a ranked opponent. You know, it wasn't like he did this to some scrub in the light heavyweight division. He did this against a ranked opponent. And Dominic Reyes is not back. He's better. And, you know, the reason why this was heartwarming was because Dominic Reyes fell off of a cliff after he was arguably robbed by the judges against John Jones. Everybody watched that fight. Everybody thought John lost for the most part. It was a thing, right? Dana White commented on it. It was something, you know, like it wasn't like people are misremembering it. No, Dominic Reyes very much arguably won that fight. And he kind of held on to it for a while, a bit too long, and he was starting to walk around like bitter. You know, he was bitter pretty much. He was always mentioning the fact that he was robbed. He was always, you know, he just wasn't able to accept that he lost. Ultimately, the judges decided that you lost, even though you did everything right. You prepared the best you could for the fight. You performed about as good as you could have. And the judges still said you lost. But the way to handle that, the way to move forward in life is not to harbor on that and to become negative and bitter over it. The way to move forward is by doing just that, moving forward, turning the page. Okay, I lost. What's next? All right, we got to go out there, prove ourselves versus this guy. But he never had that mentality. He held on to it. He stayed bitter. But fight over fight, loss after loss, he got closer to God. He let all of that stuff go. And now, here he is, finally free as Dominic Reyes. And now he's on a 3-fight winning streak. And I love to see it, man. I really love to see it. I was happy for him. And whether he wins a title again or not, which is possible, man. I think he's 35 or 36. Remember, Glover Teixeira won a light heavyweight title when he was 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, the light heavyweight, even middleweight division, they're kind of like old man divisions. You could be an old 37-year-old, a 39-year-old, and win a title in those weight classes. Where it gets tricky is when it's like, I think it was 170 and below for the longest time, and then it became 155 and below. But those lighter weight classes are where, you know, the age does start to show, because those, you know, those younger guys do have so much more athleticism and those raw talents, you know, rather than the skills. Someone could have great technique and be 40 years old with the best technique, the most flawless jab or the most flawless straight right hand you've ever seen, but is it as explosive as the other guy? Is it as quick as the other guy? Are his reflexes, his eyes still there? Does he have the reaction time that he once did, you know? You begin to lose your reaction time a bit when you've been hit over and over and been through so many wars, right? That wears on you. It takes a toll on you. Look at Volkanovski, for example. He went out and he won against Diego Lopez, but he did get dropped a couple of times. And here's the thing with that. He said in the fight with Ilya, he was hesitating, and that's what got him knocked out. But that's natural. That's the body's natural response after being knocked out by Islam Makhachev. That's the body's natural response after 2 knockouts in a row. You know, it's a good thing he took off a lot of time. That's what he should have done after the first one. So the body's natural response to such a traumatic event like that is to, like, tense up and brace and to, like, you know what I mean? So it's a thing. And Dominic Reyes is turning the corner. Dominic Reyes is bouncing back, and I want to see it, man. I want to see him fight anyone. I mean, I know that I don't have it in front of me who's booked and stuff like that. I don't remember the stuff off the top of my head, so leave it in the comment section below who is booked. But I want to see him fight Khalil Roundtree. I want to see him fight Jamal Hill. I want to see him fight I think those two guys are actually fighting each other. I want to see him fight Yuri Prohatska. I want to see him fight these guys. I do. I want to see him fight, hey, listen, Alex Pereira's not champ no more. You know, let him fight Alex Pereira. Why can't he fight Alex Pereira for a number 1 contender spot? You know, what are we just gonna do, a immediate rematch for Pereira? I guess you could do that, but I want to see it. I want to see Dominic Reyes versus the top guys in the light heavyweight division, and I'm happy to see him back on this track. And it would be nice to see him. I mean, how great of a story would this be, guys? This would just be, in my opinion, a heartwarmer of a story, a Disney Channel type of story. You know, you've got a guy who was robbed of his championship, of his dream, of achieving his pinnacle. He was robbed of it, and then he actually started losing. He lets go of the bitterness. He comes back around. He starts winning again, and he captures the title that eluded him many years ago, that put him on this journey, this second journey of reawakening and realigning and rediscovery of yourself and all things like this. I think it's a beautiful story. I think it's why we watch MMA. I think MMA, the ups and downs of life is MMA. You know what I mean? You could have your brightest moment, but you could also have your greatest downfall. Nikita Krylov is somewhere right now today on a Monday morning thinking about how he just got knocked out over the weekend. There are the triumphs and there are the defeats, and that's life. So you love to see it. It is what it is. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. That's all I got today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and follow, of course, for more. And last but not least, thank you, because you are all appreciated.